Podcast for the common folk.
What's going on, boys? We here today. Channel for the common folk by the common folk is me, Tyler Starver. In case you didn't know, didn't read the title or anything. I wanted to do a fun one today. I kind of went on a rant. I was going to post that one, but it got too political, and I said I wasn't going to get political. And the more I'm calmed down, the more I think about it, it's more like, who gives a shit? So I've let that go. Not that you guys needed to know that, but I wanted to do a fun one. And I found this article today. It was shared as top 10 questions that science can't answer yet. But I'm going to answer them because I know the answer to everything. But as I'm going through this, it's a lot harder than I was thinking. All right, I was thinking like, how were the pyramids built? And I'd be like, aliens. Why was the Great Wall of China? Well, to keep the Mongols from raiding China, but they did, and then Mulan stopped them, and that's how that went. That's a true story. So, but these questions aren't like that. Like, why do we dream is number 10. I'm sitting there like, we dream because, okay, let me see. There are people that don't dream or can't dream. And from what I've been told, it's like never really fully going to sleep. That's what I heard it as. So I'm sitting here thinking like, well, when you have a good dream and you wake up, you are well rested. So the dream, and because, sleep is the greatest thing that is ever to be there, and it's probably the best form of relaxation stuff there is that when you sleep and you dream, you're making it to that ultra stage of relaxation and sleep, if that makes sense. When you sleep and you dream, you're achieving a higher level of sleep. Your mind has fun, and you sit there and you wake up feeling refreshed. It's like peeling an orange in one peel. It's a good feeling. And I think that we dream because our mind gets bored because we spend 8 hours asleep, or we're supposed to spend 8 hours asleep, and you can't, your mind's sitting there, you're sleeping, your body's resting, and, your brain's telling your muscles to rest, and your brain's sitting there bored as shit, staring at the ceiling or staring at the back of your eyelids, and it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to make a little story. So then your brain makes a little movie, but it grabs the weirdest shit, You got like the cast of Friends fighting the cast of Frasier, and then all of a sudden the bartender from Cheer comes in from some reason, and you're like, well, why is this all oriented into those, what are those, 90s sitcoms, and Cheer's more 80s probably, and then all of a sudden, Ashton Kutcher comes in, but it's not Ashton Kutcher from the 70s show, it's Ashton Kutcher from The Ranch, which is the newer show, the Netflix show. And then so that's off, and your brain's just putting weird shit in. Harry Potter flies in, and you end up killing Harry Potter. Then Hermione goes on a revenge spree, and she tries to kill you, and it just makes for a very weird feeling. Although you wake up refreshed. But I'm gonna say, why do we dream? Your brain gets bored. Number 2. How can we eliminate cancer? Well, I thought this was supposed to be some. Okay, I thought we were talking about like weird pondering life questions that science can't answer, not scientific. Oh, how can we eliminate? Science can't answer yet, but they will. All right, there's been a lot of studies going around. It's about decreasing the rate of cellular growth in the cancer cells, and so there's a lot of attack on that, which is why radiation helps, because not only does the radiation destroy the cells that are there, but it prohibits the cells from, growing and multiplying. And also, so does cannabis. There's not as at the rate or with the damage of radiation. The only thing is that radiation, it damages a lot of other stuff. It's like using, I wouldn't know a proper analogy for that. But it does a lot of damage as well as clearing out it's like setting your house on fire to get rid of the spider. in a sense. And sometimes you only have to burn part of the living room to get rid of the spider. Sometimes the whole house comes down and the spider's still alive. So that's kind of how the chemotherapy goes. Although it's usually the go-to and it's a good basis, and then you can test from there on out. How can we eliminate cancer? Well, I don't have an answer for that one. Now, me and science are on an agreement in that stage. I don't know how to eliminate. I don't know. Smoke a joint today, maybe? If you're not pro-weed, say it leads to drugs and stuff, even though it helps cancer patients. Okay, I don't know. Just do a bunch of chemotherapy. Worked for Archer in that show. Of course, that was a show. But who's to say that wouldn't work in real life? I mean, we don't know. Just because it worked on a cartoon doesn't mean it can't work in the real life. I mean, it could. We don't know. Yeah. What happens when you die? Well, you go to heaven or you go to hell. You go to meet God and He tells you whether you've been good or bad. I'll answer that one right off the bat. There is an afterlife. They've measured that your body loses like 0.2 of its like grams or something, and it's supposed to be like the soul leaving your body. Now, some people said when they died and come back that it's been pitch black. There was one story about a crazed man who said he died and went to hell and all that. But then there have been stories about, like, Johnny Cash's older brother where he said he heard, like, angels singing or something. That's pretty deep right there. So I think, there is an afterlife, I think. And, regardless if it's not going to matter once we're dead. But there is an afterlife. I'm going to say, what happens when you die? Well, you go to heaven or you go to hell. Plain and simple. Cash in all your good karma now, because when you die, that's what's going to get you into heaven. Get you to that all-you-can-eat buffet you'll be eating for the rest of time. God, I can't wait. Well, I mean, I can wait, but it's going to be a hell of a time. I'll tell you what. I'm going to enjoy that shit. Are we alone in the universe? Probably not. Probably not. I know the Bible only talks about Earth, but going outside of that, I mean, the universe is so huge that it's hard to believe that we're the anomaly. Now, it's hard to believe that we're the only people. Now, I say it's hard to believe. Maybe it's the truth. We don't know. We haven't been visited. Maybe, we're the more advanced of the species out there. Or maybe there's so advanced species out there, but they're so far away that even with their advanced technology, they can't come and get us yet. But no, I don't think we're alone in the universe. It's pretty big. It says here that there could be as many as 40 billion habitable planets in our galaxy alone. Well, yeah, well then that's probably, at least if there's a bug. You gotta define why we're alone. I mean, like, what if there's some kind of space cockroach out there? That's technically another species, although I'd hate to see the cockroach that can survive the wasteland of space. That'd be kind of scary. They already survived so much shit here on Earth. I can only imagine what would happen. Anyway, we'll say that. Where does concussions come from? Wait a minute. Concussion. Oh, where does consciousness come from? Flickering constant activity. Brain scans display how active our brains really are. Flickering with constant activity. Where does consciousness come from? I didn't think about scientific questions. I thought we were thinking about, like, what is life? Or, why does ketchup taste like it does even though it comes from tomatoes? Or why does everybody hate lima beans? Or is chugging, cheese from a can really that bad for your health? And if there's bad additives and bad chemicals in Kraft mac and cheese, are they really bad because Kraft mac and cheese is good? Or are they just saying it's bad because it's a chemical and it probably shouldn't be in there? Or is it the reason Kraft mac and cheese is so good? I don't know. All right, I wasn't thinking of where does consciousness come from. Well, you're awake and we're all interacting as we're awake, or you're asleep and you're dreaming. I don't know where consciousness comes from. Consciousness is a word. So some guy was like, we are awake. Do you think the term conscious decision came first or consciousness came first? That was a conscious decision. That doesn't even sound right. Conscious, conscientious, conscientious. That sounds stupid. All right, I'm going to skip that one. How many species are on Earth? We've only counted for 1.5 million of the species, or around 15% of the total number on Earth. Well, if you know that 1.5 million is 15% of the total number on Earth, well, then you can use math, all right, and go and determine what 100% would be. All right, if 15% is 1.5 million, that would mean that 3 million would be 30%. So, what would that make? 10 million species? There you go. Problem solved. Big bang boom. Is reality... What the shit is this? There's perhaps things that people in our lives are merely illusions, like the Matrix. Yeah, well, I thought about that. And honestly, I don't give a shit, personally, because the steak still tastes the same, and I'm okay with that. I doubt that we are in the Matrix, that computers really got it all. Maybe they did, but I haven't seen anybody in black people, or what am I trying to say? I haven't seen anybody in black suits and ties with glasses on running around all secret top agent and stuff. I haven't been intimidated by any guy who could pass as an elf king. So, yes, reality is real because it's reality. It's real. It's what we come to know as reality. And we are all interacting with one another. So, there you go. Answer it yourself. Next question. How did life begin? Well, they say with the Big Bang, I'm going to say God created the Big Bang, let that all work out, and then our planet festered and it created the right conditions and habitats for us. And then us humans came about. And we started destroying and killing each other, and then God came in and said that was wrong, and then people who said that they didn't like God started doing that. So then God gave us the ability to stop those people. And that's about where we're at today. Yeah. How did life begin? Big Bang Theory. Number 2. Is time travel possible? Well, if you watched Back to the Future, or any of the Terminator movies, or 13 Monkeys, or Men in Black 3, or Supernatural, yes it is. I'd like to think it is, but I don't think it's what we think. I don't think it's some guy going around jumping, quantum leaping from timeline to timeline trying to help shit. I think it's probably just some loser in a phone booth, going around, not necessarily Doctor Who type shit, but some guy going around just having fun. Probably goes to that same Hank Jr. Summer Concert Fest in 1970, whatsoever, like every day in a row just because he can. You know what I'm saying? Probably some guy going there and reliving the first Super Bowl every day or going back. It's probably what it is. I think it's possible. But what you have to do, and this is what my science and my college knowledge is that you have to find how that time is physical. How do you do that? How do you use the time as a dimension to where you can use and manipulate it? Because as of right now, time is just a measurement tool used to measure the passing of time. I don't know what you would call that. Just the time is a measurement, in a sense, and that's what we have it as right now. So how do you find that and prove that time is a real dimension, is something that's physical or has a form that you can manipulate or flow between or figure that out? That would be the problem. That would be the problem. Is time travel possible? I'd say yes. I think it is a dimension. I think people have found out how to do it. I think they're just fucking with us. Probably just taking pictures of us saying how bad it is, and they're going to their 3080 future or whatnot, you know? Is the universe truly infinite? Well, it says it's expanding. Science can't really tell us whether it's infinite or finite. But researchers do have theories. Well, if the universe is constantly expanding, then it is infinite. If it is not constantly expanding, then it is finite. If we have evidence that the galaxies are moving further and further away from each other, and the research is and the universe is expanding, then I would say yes. The universe is truly infinite. That was hard. Man, it's bull. I was starting to think it's some philosophical questions, but no. We have to start asking why we dream and shit. Well, don't worry about why you dream, alright? Just enjoy your nice little dream where you're eating Doritos and not gaining any weight, okay? It's fine. Enjoy it. Don't think too much into it. Okay, here's another set. Why do we sleep? Because we're tired. Next. Damn, there's a lot of... How many planets are in our solar system? 9. Pluto counts. They say, well, it's not a planet, it's a dwarf planet. Well, you're still calling it a planet, so... There you go. Why is ice slippery? Because it's smooth. Answered. This is easy. See, this is what I'm talking about. Can't answer this shit all day. How does a bicycle work? You pedal turns the gears turn the chain turns the gears on the bike, or on the tire, and the tire turns. Solve that shit. Physics, boy. What's up there? Come on. How do you beat solitaire? Now, I can't answer this one. I've never successfully beaten... Well, know what? You know, that's a lie. I did beat solitaire once. You got to get them all lined up. Aces through 10. Aces through kings. Sorry. That's not too hard. How does science not know how to answer that? It's called common sense. Learn the rules of the game. What is defined as beating the game? Do that. People don't just create games if they don't know how to win. And people that try to do that are stupid people. I don't like those kinds of people. What's the point of doing something if you're not creating an end game or something? Solve that one. See, this is more my speed. This is more my speed. I got this. I'm trying to find the rest of this list, but it keeps going back up to how a bicycle works. I don't know if it liked my answer or not. NSA's time to tell me to answer that because they're secretly trying to get in on some of this. It's okay. My podcast is for everybody, including the CIA folk who listen to this. How many species of animal exist? A lot. There you go. Good answer. Let's see. What else we got here? The length of the U.S. coastline, or any coastline. Well, I bet you can use math to figure that out, so there you go. Don't know why, science. Yeah, you gotta calculate all the twists and turns and jets and stuff, but I bet you that ain't much of a problem. You dial up several equations to account for mass loss in a sense, do some simple integrals and whatnot, easy peasy. There you go. How does gravity work? Well, our planet is so big that it attracts everything, and we are in that said attraction field, and we are attracted to our said planet, and it does never want us to leave. That's why we can't leave, unless we use a bunch of rockets, in which case our planet takes that as a rejection in a sense, and then it doesn't even want us to come back, because then anything that tries to come in or force itself into our planet burns up because our planet is hot and it does not want outsiders. Okay, there you go. It's gravity, magnetic fields, and shit. Can we stop aging? Another list. Think of aging as like rotting. You reach a point where your body no longer sustains itself, so you slowly start rotting away. There you go. Is biology universal? Yes, it is. Is there a purpose or meaning behind the universe? Well, I tend to think it's happiness. Other people tend to disagree. I mean, whatever floats your boat, that's probably what the purpose is. Can we support Earth's population in the next century? Probably. What is music and why do we have it? Well, music is awesome, and we have it because we are not boring people. Music is the manipulations of sounds to create beats to entertain. There you go. Will lab-grown fish be a thing? Probably. Will we be able to predict the future of economic and social systems? Well, we try, and we say we are, but truly, yeah, probably. Stuff like that gets predictable, and you can easily predict that with equations. They already have several thousands. I've taken a macroeconomics class. Nature versus nurture. What kind of question is that? The age will debate whether your upbringing of your environment influences you more just never seems to end. Well, it does. These are the same people that says first impressions matter. So yes, how you brought up is your first impression of the world. It matters. Now, yes, you got to nurture and you got to show that they are loved, but sometimes you got to whoop ass. What is life? It's living. It's a conscious mind. Will we ever successfully complete a brain transplant? Probably not, because then you'd have somebody else's mind in your head, and you'd be listening to their thoughts, and you could have a complete different view on life. I'd say if my brain dies, I'm dead, because my brain's my personality. Free will. Do you have it? Have all your actions been predestined? Well, predestined by what? Because if someone is predestined in my life, they're doing a pretty damn good job. They fucked up a couple times, but you know what? They've done more right than wrong. So whether it's free will or whether I'm actually following a plan, I'm doing all right in life, and I can't say too much about that. What is art? I actually can't answer this, because I've seen dots sell for hundreds of millions of dollars, yet that good painting of a dude or eating a hot dog in Fenway Park will sell for like 20 because it's hanging up in a bathroom. Whatever floats your boat. But did we discover math or did we invent it? Well, who else could have discovered math? Who else could have invented math? Aliens? Maybe. Isaac Newton did it. That dumbass. What is gravity? Gravity is a force. Why are we here? To be happy. Don't worry about it. What is consciousness? See, then it comes with the hardest question. What is consciousness? Why do we sleep? Are we alone? Where's all the matter in the universe? Well, it's everywhere. Look with your eyeballs. Will we ever be able to predict the weather? Well, at one point I truly did, but my weather app is stupid and retarded, and it can't predict the weather. So, I mean, you could see with your eyes, there's a storm coming. Oh, wow, you predicted that shit, man. Call me a meteorologist. What is right and wrong? Well, unless you don't feel anything, you usually have a sense when you're doing something, if it feels bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to murder a baby, you're going to start to feel bad, because who murders babies? Horrible people. Unless you're so bad that doesn't feel anything, you people develop what is right and what is wrong. There you go. Where does language come from? Our mouth. Who are you? I'm Tyler Stockford. What is death? The end of life. What happens after you die? You go to heaven or hell. That was easy. What else we got here? Top 10 questions science can't answer. 10 mysteries that physics can't answer. I don't want to get into that. Physics is weird. Oh, I said something with the byline of SpongeBob. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm looking this all up. Okay, here we go. Some memes. So, do you deliver your own mail, or do you, like this is to a mailman, do you deliver your own mail, or do you have your own mail person? But then who delivers his mail? Is there a never-ending chain of mailmen delivering mail to other mailmen? Well, let's answer this question. A mailman is a job, so he lives, ideally, in a house or apartment, or he has a place of residence that he sleeps to at night. That place of residence is in another mailman's area, so he will deliver to that place of residence, while you are responsible for another place of residence. There is a set number of mailmen delivering to a set number of houses. Another mailman delivers your mail. That's what good. Who invented grammar? That kind of asshole. Those are the people I don't like. Alright. What can't physics answer? I'm not sure I can answer this either. We shall see. What came before the Big Bang? Nothing. Don't worry about it. How does a bicycle stay upright? Well, if you pedal really fast, it doesn't matter. Where does quantum weirdness end? I don't even know what quantum weirdness is. Why do we move forward in time? Well, because by our definition, progressing or advancing is moving forward. So we are hereby moving forward. Why does space have 3 dimensions? Because it does. Don't worry about it. Can we get energy from nothing? No. What is glass? Melted sand. Why is ice slippery? Because it's smooth. How long does a proton live? Does it really live, or does it just burn out? Is it a living thing? Is the universe infinite or just very big? Infinite. How creative computers will dream up things we've never imagined? Well, at least somebody's had to have imagined it at one point in time. That's just how that shit works. What's going on here? But that's stupid. I mean, I answered this because I wanted to give my point of view on this, but the more I'm answering it, the more I'm thinking about it, like, well, why are we worrying about this? Let's get on here. Let's enjoy life as we got it. Let's go have some fun. You want to go tell the homeowners association to piss off? Go ahead. You want to go drink that extra large Diet Coke and eat that 4-pound T-bone steak? Yeah, go ahead. I'll join right in with you. That sounds fun as hell. Why are we worried about what's going to happen after? Just believe in God. Let God do it. I mean, I'm just thinking about that. That's what makes it so easy. I mean, this must be killer for an atheist. Not believe anything, because then now you're left with all these questions. You know, I think that's why God's there. He's there making it easy for us. We don't even know it yet. Why do we dream? Because God wants us to be entertained while we're sleeping. All right. What is the purpose of life? God wanted us to experience joy and happiness that He experienced because He is always there. So He created to share more in the gift of happiness. Bam. Why is there sadness? Well, it's a yin and yang. There's a balance. Sometimes those really happy moments can't be made but you have to have those really sad moments to make them really happy. It's kind of like when your football team wins, all right, and you're really happy and you're yelling and you're hooping and hollering, and then they're playing the next game, and then they call back the touchdown because apparently he juggled the ball even though it broke the plane, and it should have been called a touchdown right then and there. But New England's piece of shit and they've got their hands in the ref's pockets, so they got the call anyways, then you don't feel so good. And I get that. I truly do. So I'd say it's more of a yin and yang in that sense. What is gravity? It's God put it there on planets to keep us there so we didn't float into space and die. Because He wants us to be able to enjoy life. I like that. What is reality? What God created. And we're living in it. See? Look at this. This man just keeps on giving. Or woman, or unisex God being. He's a celestial being. He created both man and women. So it's kind of hard to go in between with both. I just imagine him as a man. He was depicted. Jesus was the Son of God. So I'm always thinking, man, but there's no reason to believe that he's not a woman, or that it's just an entity that we can't really explain or describe, but we will understand once we meet him. Yeah. That'll be a doozy. Go to Judgment Day. He's like, well, we have here your browser history. Yeah, well, you see about that. I got a good reason for two of the links. God's sitting there staring at you. Just go to heaven. Enjoy the buffet. All right, I will. Thank you, dear Lord. That's how that works. He's forgiven. Why were you looking at gorillas with the faces of dogs? Well, it's pretty entertaining. Okay. See, he makes this shit easy. Why do we dream? Hey, I like that shit. Why do we sleep? God wants us to rest so we can be fully awake, and He wants the joy of waking up, the joy of falling into your bed after a good hard day's work. See, look at that shit. He's looking out for us. I like this already. Now, if you're an atheist and you sit there and you're going to have to come up with these questions your own self, I'm providing them with my way, and I'm going to use God as a clutch because I can't. He said I could. So, I'm sorry. But, I mean, I'm sure you're a cool dude. I won't discriminate. I'm just saying you're going to have to come up with the answers on your own. I'm doing the legwork and thinking for the people that believe that there is a God. I can't help with the Egyptians and the Greeks and all that stuff because those guys always blame their gods more than anything. Our God was cool. The God is cool. They're made up bullshit. Although there's really weird, you have the God and the archangels and the one God or archangel that stabbed the others in the back, and then you always have like Hades or Set and Egyptian. You got those guys. So maybe there's some kind of form that's like that. Because if you look at it, there's those patterns, so maybe that's how they interpreted, with Michael and Lucifer and all that. That's kind of fun to think about in a sense, because maybe, that gives further evidence that there is an afterlife. God, I hope Buddhism is real. Nothing against y'all. Y'all are peaceful. Y'all are cool, Buddhists, that's not a problem, but I don't want to come back. I'm going to do my time on this earth and leave a mark. I don't want to come back and be like, oh, there's this guy again. That'd just be awkward. Because on how I plan to go out, I'd have a lot of questions I'd have to answer when I come back. And I'm going to be honest, even planning to go out, I was planning to just make that final so I wouldn't have to answer those questions. I'll be up in heaven eating the buffet. Alright, so I'm hoping that I don't come back. Well, if you do shitty, you're going to come back as like a maggot. Well, my thing is, well, I know as a maggot that I used to be a human. It's like, well, I know as a honeybee that I used to be a human. Well, I know as a snake that I used to be human. Or it's like, if I'm another human, will I know that I used to be that dude? I kind of wish I would. That'd be cool. Be like, oh, hey, you come back and you visit this random lady. Well, you see, I was your grandfather, then I died, and I came back because Buddhism is real. Sucks. And now I'm this tiny Asian dude. I'm really good at playing video games, like I was when I was my grandfather, or your grandfather, whatever that works, yeah. And then they call the cops on you, then you get arrested, then you die, then you come back as like a butterfly or some shit. That'd be horrible. I don't want to be a butterfly. Oh, you put the fly around and stuff. Yeah, but you're so small and you ain't worth a shit. If I had to come back as an animal, I'd come back as a honey badger. Some badass honey badger coming at you, no fucks given. Or a giant polar bear. One or the other. Well, science may not have been able to answer some of those questions, but I sure as hell did, and I felt like I did a pretty good job. This is a rather short one today, but I felt like I've got to my point. I did my talking points, and I got done. I appreciate y'all listening to this for me. I hope y'all have a good day, good evening, good night. Whenever you listen to this, whenever you're working, I hope this is entertaining enough for you. That's what I try to make it to be. You know what I'm saying? I try to make it entertaining, something you can work and laugh to, you know. It's something you can play while you're driving around with your mama there, and you can play it in your stereo, and you don't have to worry about me dropping the N-word or the F-bomb a bunch of times and her telling you to shut it off, and then you get a 30-minute lecture about it, you know. So I try to keep that shit cool, you know what I'm saying? All right. Well, thank you. Have a good day, and I'll see you on later. This is the podcast for the common folk by the common folk. Hey, see you later.